Hello, everyone. Hello, fellow gypsies and spiritual wanderers. This is Mocha Gypsy, and this is my very first live. All right, so I'm not um, quite sure, uh, the format I'm going to do, or or um, how many of these I will do. But I wanted to give, my subscribers, my clients, the curious a chance to get to know me better. And, what can I say? Greetings from Costa Rica. That's where I live. I currently live with my little one. Um, for those who don't know me, I go by the name of Mocha Gypsy. My name is Hadria, and I am a professional psychic and magic practitioner. And um, I've worked for some of the top psychic sites. I was on Oranum, was on Keen, Purple Ocean, and I'm on Etsy as well. As far as the psychic platforms go, I've striked out on my own. Okay, so I'm mainly on Etsy now, and I'm revamping my own personal website. Okay, so what I do, I'm a psychic. I also dabble in mediumship, and mainly I do a lot of magic work, angelic magic. Okay, I work a lot with angels, and I do a lot of dark magic and light magic. And uh, I would describe it as it's gallery of magic type of magic. It's a streamlined form of Kabbalah, Jewish Kabbalah. Okay, so I'm working with a lot of angelic keys written in Hebrew, and directly communicating with angels. Many of them are more obscure, known just mainly to magicians, okay, from way back in Solomon's time. Okay, that's the type of magic that I do. And I've been doing it for about, oh my gosh, about four years now. 4 years. Um, and I happen to be really good at it. If anyone does an internet search on me, my reviews speak for itself. But anyhow, um, that's that's who I am and what I do. And if anybody has any questions, I see we have a couple of people here. Feel free to ask me anything. All right. Um, as I said before, this is my first live. Not sure what to expect. So anyhow, um, so I just figured that I'd introduce myself and for people to get to know me better, on this side of the screen. So, hmm, so I practice magic, but the reason why I did magic, why I started getting into magic, was actually for myself. Um, it was actually a form of protection. Some of you may know my story better than others, but uh, I'm originally from Connecticut, but I was stuck in this rural Wyoming town. Okay. Uh, I was a gypsy. I was a full time RVer, originally from Connecticut. And, that's how I originally got my name, Mocha Gypsy. It really didn't have anything to do with magic or anything like that. Adventurous spirit. This was about 11 years ago or so. And I just, the Northeast wasn't for me. And when I got pink slipped from my graphic designer job, I just decided to travel the country, and uh, settled in Oklahoma, but then met my then husband, um, who's a Texan, but he was living in Wyoming. Um, I met him in Texas, and we ended up having a life together in Wyoming, married and everything, but he turned out to be a full-on sociopath. Okay. And I wasn't doing magic back then. I always was a highly intuitive person and a highly psychic person, but it wasn't until after that whole experience that my mind and my spirituality completely opened up. Okay, so um, so that marriage went sour. Here I was, a black woman in this this small rural racist town, divorcing a narcissist sociopath, and I had a young child. We had a child together that I had to worry about, and I was just constantly in danger. So um, the other part to that too was that my ex was a very staunch born again Christian. Um, I myself, I was a converted Catholic. I wasn't rigid like him though, but you know, he basically sort of indoctrinated me at the time that, psychicness was evil and of the devil and everything like that. So when I was starting to get, when he was showing more and more of his colors, um, I was getting intuition coming in, pounding at me, warning me about him. And I was just thinking to myself, like, oh, well, maybe this is just, the devil coming in, trying to rip me out of this marriage that could actually be good for me. Anyway, um, so, it wasn't until I found myself in this situation, divorced from a sociopath, him trying to take, my child away, just out of spite, not out of love, just out of spite. Um, you know, Cops on his side, social workers on his side, um, you know, the lawyers, just most of the people in general. I had a few friends, but it was outside of just having my little handful of friends, it just was not a safe environment for me. So I had to um, look for ways to protect myself. And what started that for me was like praying to Saint Michael and consecrating myself to him. And then I felt a tug towards more of the occult. Um, I was always into, doing tarot cards just for myself, astrology just for myself, so I always had that inclination. And I would always get um, all sorts of crazy premonitions. I always knew I was psychic, but I felt shaky about it. Um, but anyhow, so I got into magic basically to out of survival, because I had this sociopath on my back. I had a daughter I had to, protect and everything like that. And I started reading more books. I gave myself permission to nurture that side, explore that side of myself that was ignored for so long. I started doing rituals, and I realized it started to help me. And I was, I'm also was a victim of domestic violence too. So it wasn't, oh, he was just a sociopath and stuff, um, beat me when I was 8 months pregnant, the whole nine. And he got to sleep in his own bed that night because the cops believed his story, even though it had holes in it over mine. So when I say that I was not safe, I'm not saying that lightly. I really wasn't. There was like no one protecting me in my corner, just you know, maybe my therapist who was helping me through it, and a couple of friends helping me. But other than that, within the system, I couldn't rely on the system to keep me and my daughter safe. So it was out of necessity. Then, um, after things settled a little bit, I just felt the need, if I was able to start to help myself, you know, I could do this for other people who've been through what I've been through, people who don't have a voice, um, people in need. Okay. And so that's when I thought about doing that for other people, because I've been there. And that's why I was also, open to doing dark stuff too. That's justified, you know. Um, and it was still angelic. It was just angelic, dark. So, um, it started on Fiverr, and then also set up my shop on Etsy not too long after. Um, and some people came to me, and one of my first clients was funny enough, was a woman who was in a similar situation as I was. She had a spiteful sociopathic partner, a newborn baby, and her partner did basically what my ex did to me, was like start a fight, make up stories, and had her baby taken by CPS. Yes, that happened to me too. Okay, so that's how I know that I was dealing with pure evil. So anyhow, very similar situation and experiences that I went through. And um, she didn't have much money, and at the time I wasn't, charging a lot because I was completely new. I think I only charged like $30 or something, and she was only able to pay for one ritual, but behind the scenes, I did like 3 or 4 extra rituals for her. Um, you know, uh, to take away the credibility of the prosecutor, have the judge, see her side and see through her ex's BS. And there were like a whole bunch of other stuff I did. And that's what I did for her. And then I found out, she got back to me. She got her baby back in 2 weeks. All right. Anybody know anything about dealing with CPS or social workers, the system? 6 months is usually the standard or more. And that's even with with people who are completely innocent, and they just want to make money off of you, or give you a hard time. But she got her baby back in 2 weeks, and that's when I knew that okay, this is what I need to be doing. And she said she was just drawn to me. That's what made her pick me. She was just drawn to me, and that's what I hear a lot of clients say. um and I've been helping people ever since. There's other practitioners that might, charge a whole lot more and this and that. But I really want to help people, people who are in like a rough shape, and giving a voice to the voiceless, um, and work that I feel is justified. And there's also people who are just like in trouble, in legal problems, relationship problems, sort of, that sort of thing. Okay. Um, Let me see. No questions yet. And if there's no questions, feel free to, if it comes to mind after this live, just leave a question in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer. That's fine. And this is my first live. I wasn't expecting a lot of people anyhow. Um, so let me see. What else is there to talk about? So me and my daughter now are safe. We live in Costa Rica. Um, you know, uh, I just did not want to deal with living in rural Wyoming. I did not want to deal with a sociopathic ex. I didn't want to deal with, wondering, will my child be safe? Every time, she would go to visit, her father and stuff. Um, and Magick did help me get that far, but it was just like too much of a dangerous situation to take that gamble. So I did like a hoodoo skull spell on him that kept him um, pretty calm. A narcissist skull spell. It was from Hoodoo Delish. I know some people don't like her or whatever, and some people love her, but she was only one out there with a video about that, and it worked. It worked like a charm. He was more compliant to certain things. But anyhow, um, so where I'm headed, I mentioned I'm revamping my website. I'm striking out on my own. Basically got off just about all the hotlines and platforms that I'm on. Um, I'm I've decided that I'm going to cut out or phase out my darker work and focus more on moving from curses and going more into lighter work and healing. Okay. I think when I was doing no, more curse work for people in need and things like that, I had a lot of anger in me, a lot of anger, and also some fear as well, but mostly anger. Um, and I've processed that over the last couple of years. And, um, now I'm moving more into more healing work and um, positive types of spells and magic using using angels in that way. Um, you know, and they have that expression, a witch who can't curse can't heal. Well, I've done a lot of cursing. I've justified, but I've done a lot um, for people who are in need or clients and such. Um, And I'm also going to continue with my meditations. I have some meditation videos. Uh, for those of you who have explored my channel, um, I do meditations that are empowered with magic to have a certain effect on people, uh, more towards the healing. I'm going to continue more with that if I see that people like them and it's actually helpful to them. And hmm, I think that's just about it for now. But um, just wanted to try out doing this live, and it's a cool experience. So um, maybe I'll do more, you know, um, and just see how that goes, how people like it, and that's pretty much it for now. I'm still trying to figure out when's a good time to have these lives and what they should more or less be about. So let me know in the comments, what would be a good time. If there's anything you guys would like for me to talk about, we can talk about, and that'll be fine with me. So anyhow, that's it. Signing off. This is Mocha Gypsy. And love and blessings to all of you on the other side of this screen.